I'll start sharing my screen. Can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, teacher, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so welcome. Welcome back to this intro session. This week we're going to be talking about hashtag activism. Do you know what hashtag activism means?
Not exactly. Might be related to social media, but other than that, I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, good. So we're going to be learning about hashtag activism today. Um, Before we start the class, I don't think I have had sessions with you guys before. So I'm going to quickly do a short introduction about myself. My name is Sofia. I'm 27 years old. I was born in Villavicencio, and 3 years ago I moved to Washington, D.C., and that's pretty much it. What about you guys? Where are you guys from? How old are you? And what semester are you guys in?
I'm
Okay. Oh, no, you go
oh,
ahead.
okay. Thank you. I'm Andres. I'm 25 years old. I live in Boyacá, but I'm from Bogota. And at this moment, I'm in fifth semester.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my name is Paola Vargas. In the first semester too, and I'm from Bogota. I'm 30
Nice.
years old.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for introducing yourselves. I just do this so we can like actually know our names and feel a little bit more comfortable. So, Andres, can you help me reading the goal of today's class?
Sure. It says by the end of the session, students will understand key details from a listening audio, recognize and use discourse markers, linkers, discuss social media activism critically, and improve listening strategies. Prediction plus gist plus detail.
There you go. Thank you very much. Do you guys know what is guest?
I don't remember. I've seen it before, but I don't remember at this moment.
Okay, Paula, do you know?
I don't, I don't know, teacher.
Okay, so guest, oh, it's pretty much the meaning or the essence of something, like the main idea of an article or the main idea of an audio. So just to let you know, guys, know that you might see that a little bit during the class. So yeah, that's pretty much what we are going to be doing today. We are going to be listening and trying to like focus on key details from the audios that we're going to listen. We are going to practice the linkers, words that connect one sentence to the other, and we will be discussing about social media activism. We're going to be sharing our opinions. So I know this is a listening drill session, but we will also be practicing a lot of speaking too. Hi, Natalia, how are you?
Hello, teacher. Hello, classmate. I am fine. Are you?
Good, very good. Okay,
Thank you, teacher.
so yeah, of course. I was just starting the class, and just to let you know, we will be learning about hashtag activism, and we are going to be practicing our listening and speaking skill today. So now we are going to watch a YouTube video about what is hashtag activism, and after that, we are going to be answering questions. So, can you please confirm that you can listen to the audio?
What is hashtag activism?
Can you
I can
listen?
listen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
What is hashtag activism? Have you ever wondered how a simple word or phrase can spark a movement? That is the essence of hashtag activism. This from Of Activism uses hashtags on social media to raise awareness, support, and action around important social, political, or cultural issues. A hashtag is a word or phrase that starts with a symbol. It groups posts on a specific topic, creating a virtual space for discussion and mobilization. Hashtag activism really took off in the late 2000s, especially with the rise of Twitter. It became a key tool for digital activism. Early examples include the Occupy Wall Street movement in 2011, which protested against economic inequality. More recent campaigns like Black Lives Matter and Me Too have addressed systemic racism and sexual harassment. These hashtags serve as rallying points for collective action and give marginalized voices a platform. When we look at hashtag activism through the lens of gender and feminist digital activism, it plays a vital role in shaping conversations about women's rights and gender equality. It allows individuals of all genders to engage in discussions about feminism and challenge oppressive norms. Hashtags create easy entry points for people to share their experiences and raise awareness of gender-based issues. While hashtag activism can quickly spread information and build community, there is ongoing debate about whether it leads to sustained action offline. Critics argue that it can sometimes result in gestures that lack deeper engagement. However, many successful campaigns show that hashtag activism can complement traditional activism. It amplifies marginalized voices and helps organize efforts without a central authority. In practical terms, feminist hashtag activism includes campaigns like Me Too, which empowered survivors of sexual violence to speak out, and Time's Up, which calls for changes in workplaces. These movements illustrate how digital platforms can challenge gender-based violence and discrimination. Overall, hashtag activism is a dynamic form of digital activism that harnesses the power of social media to connect diverse groups, raise awareness, and promote change, especially in the context of gender equality and feminist movements.
Was the information clear, or do you guys want me to repeat again the video?
It was clear for me, teacher.
Okay, so we can continue. So based on what we just watched, do you guys use social media for serious topics, like to share your political points of view, to share a campaign that you support against like climate change, or you don't really use social media for serious topics?
I'd rather not use social media for serious matters. I rather, especially with political topics, I think it's not safe sometimes.
Okay. Thanks for answering.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
just use social media to be aware of my loved ones or friends, but not really for to talk about politics or something else.
Okay. What about Natalia?
Teacher, I understand the violence of the woman
Mm-hmm.
and the in the social media there are different movimientos.
Mm-hmm.
Is improve or propose the rights, humans' rights,
Mm-hmm.
los derechos humanos of the
Mm-hmm.
woman. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. Thanks for answering. And the second question, have you ever shared or follow a hashtag campaign?
Not really. I rather using social media for entertainment rather than following like movements. However, I know people who does it. For example, my mom likes to do these kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't use. Um, I haven't followed a hashtag campaign.
Okay.
Teacher, I think no, I don't always share the post. Maybe follow it at the hashtag because it's a communicate or the person is information o siempre estar enterada.
Okay. Okay.
Eh,
That's good. Okay. And the final question will be, do you guys think that this hashtag activism really changed something? Do you think it's helpful?
I think it's a double-edged sword because it could be useful and helpful, but it could also be a matter if there is fake info and things like that. It can also provoke complainings and um, maybe escalate things in ways you don't want. It's part of the reason I don't use
Okay.
hashtags very much in these serious things, no? Because for posting
Mhm.
something personal, it's fine.
Yeah. What about
eh,
the rest of you guys? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I do think the hashtag cushion something like because I've seen many people use hashtags when they want to complain about something about the human rights or uh, stuff like that, and I feel more people can know or thanks to the hashtags, more people can visualize like problems, and yes, I feel it is helpful for complaints or stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
teacher,
So, yeah, yeah, Natalia.
I I think the news in the
Mm-hmm.
histories are for television. Now
Mm-hmm.
is different, and the social media in the position high in our life
Mm-hmm.
is the change, really change. For example, in the social media X,
Yeah.
the hashtag is um, is the most important in the moment in the social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Actually, we will be listening a little bit about that. How nowadays, like, people get more information through Twitter or X rather than the news, which is very interesting. But yeah, thank you very much. This was pretty much a warm up activity to like kind of start introducing the topic and hear your opinions about it. Mm, we have this vocabulary list. Um, it is protest, demonstration, campaign, social media, hashtag activism, influence is possible. Hashtag that we will be listening in our audios. Do you guys have any questions about this list? Do you know what demonstration means?
Saying that protest.
Like like to show
Sorry.
something
Um,
or
that's
provoke something,
demonstration, but
mm,
demonstration. Mhm.
then I'm not sure. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No worries. Paula, did you say something?
Yeah, I was saying probably the saying that protest.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's more like a physical protest. Like you reunite with your friends from college or your whole faculty, and then you start doing a demonstration in your college building because I don't know, a teacher was mean to you guys. It's like more like a physical type of protest. Yeah. I know it's kind of tricky because we know this one, demonstration, which is like to show something, right? But demonstration is different. Very tricky. Okay, so now we're going to get
Teacher,
into the listening activities. Yeah.
teacher, excuse me, and the previous slide and the words a protest is a physical, yes, and demonstration is a digital word. Es el mundo digital.
No. So protest, it can be used in like physical and digital word, like hashtag, like a digital protest where everyone start writing on X about how bad this thing was. Demonstration is like the action of like reuniting with a group and start like a protest where you like kind of like make like signs that said no more, I don't know, no more violence to animals, for example. It's like something that you actually do and are involved physically, like going on the road, walk, block roads. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's clear.
Yes, teacher, is a similar for example, the voice in the social media is demonstration. Is
Um,
that the form? Is
I'm not
the
sure. The
each
voice?
person give uh, uh, our opinion? O sí, como, no, su
No,
opinión, his opinion.
sí. No, o sea, es diferente como ese formato. Protesta, o sea, es como un tipo de protesta. O sea, están las dos palabras, protesta slash demonstration. La única diferencia es que protesta tú la puedes utilizar para el mundo digital. Hagamos una protesta en Twitter, no sé, quejándonos de al costo porque el costo tiene un pésimo servicio al cliente, bla, bla, bla. Y demonstration ya es como que, oigan chicos, reunámonos al frente del al costo de, creo que queda en la 30 en Bogotá, y bloqueemos las calles y hagamos carteles donde expongamos nuestro caso y nos planteamos afuera del al costo para que nos ayuden con el servicio al cliente, mejorando el servicio al cliente. Es más algo como físico, es más algo que tú planeas, es más como una protesta grupal física.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, of course. It's very tricky. It's a very tricky word. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now we're going to start with our listening activity. So we're going to be listening to an audio and we are going to be filling the gaps here. So, Paola, can you help me reading this paragraph to kind of like have an idea of what this person is going to talk about?
Okay, all the paragraph, right?
Yes, please.
Just the paragraph.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
I'm Char-
all of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Charlotte. I'm 17 and I live in Bristol, which is blah blah, one of the coolest cities in the southwest of England. My friend and I saw reports of the national anti-austerity demonstration in London, where people were protesting against the threatened cuts in welfare from the new government. It was too far for us to travel, but we wished we could have been there. And then one of my friends said, why don't we organize one here? We put up an invitation on Facebook to all of our friends. We hadn't done anything like it before, so we didn't know what to expect. But it just grew from there. And on the day, 5,000 people turned up to demonstrate. It was a completely amazing experience. It was
Very
a completely amazing experience.
Thank you very much. So yeah, she's pretty much going to talk about like a protest that they are doing. They are doing actually a demonstration in London, but she's not in London, so she kind of like wanted to be part of the protest, but they kind of like changed the location. Do you guys know what is cuts in welfare?
No, teacher, I don't know.
Okay, son como cortos en cuanto a los servicios públicos de la ciudad. Por ejemplo, los servicios públicos que mantienen los parques limpios, los servicios públicos que, no sé, recogen la basura o las librerías públicas van a dejar de ser públicas porque ya van a cortar como la ayuda financiera. Entonces, lo que ella está diciendo es que quieren hacer como una protesta en contra del nuevo gobierno que está cortando esos servicios públicos, esas ayudas a los servicios públicos. So cuts in welfare, that's pretty much what it means.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so now we are going to actually send the correct linkers to the chat so you will have it by hand. Here you go. Oh my god. Okay, you will have it in the chat, but we will have the time to also check on the slides. But we are going to listen to the audio first, and we are going to complete this first part, and then we're going to complete the last part of the audio. Okay?
I'm Charlotte. I'm 17 and I live in Bristol, which is, incidentally, one of the coolest cities in the southwest of England. My friends and I saw reports of the national anti-austerity demonstration in London, you know, where people were protesting against the threatened cuts in welfare from the new government. It was too far for us to travel, but all the same, we wished we could have been there. And then one of my friends said, well, why don't we organise one here? We put up an invitation on Facebook to all of our friends. Mind you, we hadn't done anything like it before, so we didn't know what to expect. But it just grew from there. And on the day, 5,000 people turned up to demonstrate. It was a completely amazing experience. By the way, a lot of great things have come out of that one Facebook page. For instance, we are now collecting food for local food banks and women's shelters. We're only young, but even so, with Facebook, we're effective.
Okay, so now we're going to listen in again and we will try to answer the first 5, okay? So try to follow up with the audio and with the reading, and then try to guess the word that she says in these blank spaces. Okay, so the first one.
I'm Charlotte. I'm 17 and I live in Bristol, which is, incidentally, one.
Now let's check the answers here. So based on what she just said, which one do you think is the correct answer?
B. I think it's B. Incidentally.
Does the rest of you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
teacher.
that's the correct one. Perfect. Incidentally. So good job. So now you know that the next one is, you know, nevertheless, and will. Okay.
I'm Charlotte. I'm 17 and I live in Bristol, which is, incidentally, one of the coolest cities in the southwest of England. My friends and I saw reports of the national anti-austerity demonstration in London, you know, where people were protesting against the threat.
Which option is it? Or the second one?
You know?
Mm-hmm. You know. with her accent. You know. So I think it was 13.
National anti-austerity demonstration in London. You know, where people were protesting against the threatened cuts in welfare from the new government. It was too far for us to travel, but all the same, we wished we could have been there.
The third one?
All the same.
Yep. All the same. That's good.
Cuts in welfare from the new government. It was too far for us to travel, but all the same, we wished we could have been there. And then one of my friends said, well, why don't we organise one here?
Well,
Yep. Well, why don't we organize one here? Good job.
I'm Charlotte. I'm 17 and I live in Bristol, which is, incidentally, said, well, why don't we organise one here? We put up an invitation on Facebook to all of our friends. Mind you, we hadn't done
Number 5.
Mind you.
Mind you.
we organise one here? We put up an invitation on Facebook to all of our friends. Mind you, we hadn't done anything like it before, so we didn't know what to expect. But it just grew from there. And on the day, 5,000 people turned up to demonstrate. It was a completely amazing experience.
53. Now number 6.
Completely amazing experience. By the way, a lot of great things have come out of that one Facebook.
Which one is number 6?
B, by the way.
By the way, a lot of great things have come back to them. Now comes the 7.
A lot of great things have come out of that one Facebook page. For instance, we are now collecting food.
7?
For instance?
For instance,
Yeah, good job. For instance, we're now collecting. Do you know what means for instance?
like for example,
Yep, good job. For example. Okay, now the last one.
Food for local food banks and women's shelters. We're only young, but even so, with Facebook, we're effective.
And the last one?
Even so?
Even so. Yep. We're only young, but even so with Facebook, we are effective. What do you guys think about this type of activities? Did you like it? That you want to you have to fill the blank, or it's not your favorite?
it's it's a good exercise to practice our listening because it's not only a matter of talking, but all the skills in English are important. So this allows us to kind of challenge ourselves to listen. However, there are many other interactive ways of doing it, but I really don't mind this one. I like it.
Good. I really like because it kind of forces you to be focused and pay attention, right? It's like, oh my God, it's coming and I need to figure it out what the word is. So I don't know. I like that feeling. Okay, so now we're going to do the second listening activity. So we are going to be listening to 4 different types of dialogues, or not dialogues, but 4 different types of speakers, and they are going to be talking about 4 of these letters, topics of these letters. So, Let's see. Natalia, can you please help me reading these 4 letters? Sorry, 5 letters.
Yes, teacher. Letter A. Thoughts about a particular online protest and how it evolved into something else. Letter B. Express that they perceive lack of interest in politics in the young is not accurate. C. Do action to encourage young people internet in politics. Letter D. Proves that social media is essential in political campaigns. Letter E. Feels that there is no division between social media campaigning and other forms of protest.
There you go. Thank you very much. So 4 of these letters are going to be the answers or the gist of the audio that you guys are going to listen. Okay, so I'm going to play the audio twice. But if you need an extra time, please let me know. Okay, so you just match audio first with letter, I don't know, E. So let's do it. Yep, sharing.
1.
Talking of politics, I was fed up with the lack of political education at my school, especially with the general election coming up. So I decided I would try to do something about it. I went to the head teacher and asked if I could stage a mock election in the school. I thought I would have trouble persuading him, but he was all for it. So I invited students to put themselves forward as candidates, then organised a speech day and a polling day. And guess what? The turnout was 85%. Students went home and researched the different political parties in our electoral system and what they stood for. I was delighted.
2.
Did you know that in the last general election, turnout among 18 to 24-year-olds was poor? Only 43%? Teenagers are accused of being politically apathetic, but that isn't altogether true. For instance, in Scotland, 16 and 17-year-olds were allowed to vote for the first time in the Scottish referendum. You know, when the Scots were voting whether to be independent from Britain. And what was interesting was that young people were inspired and galvanised to think about politics and the future of Scotland. And the voting turnout among the young was incredibly high, 80%. So it just goes to show that when teenagers are included in the political system, they can act responsibly and go to the polling station.
3. As a journalist, I can say that hashtag activism is here to stay. In the past few years, a solid Twitter presence has become essential for any good protest movement. For instance, a hashtag slogan links all posts together into a debating forum, so that people can easily find and join in the discussions. Incidentally, for those of us who work in the media, news is more and more often made on Twitter than through official channels. So I don't think it makes sense to distinguish between online and offline activism anymore. Social media is not a substitute for actual demonstrations, but a complement to them. Demonstrations are organized on Facebook. Then people go on protest marches with hashtag slogans on their banners. Therefore, other people can see them, go online, and join the protest. Digital and traditional activism feed into one another. That's real life today. 4.
A rather interesting reaction happened with teenagers a while ago in the States. Thousands of teens wanting to make a point against the perfect bodies found in magazines started posting photos and videos of themselves with acne, body fat, etc. They used the hashtag #Don'tJudgeChallenge. You know, the hashtag was used over 2 million times. However, some teenagers then started making themselves intentionally unattractive. For instance, they painted on spots, big eyebrows, big glasses, or missing teeth, and took photos, then slowly changed themselves to show that they were attractive after all. Then a backlash started with thousands of other teenagers criticising it on Twitter, saying that the videos didn't empower teenagers, but gave the message that people who naturally have bad skin, wear glasses, all that sort of thing, can never be attractive. So then a new hashtag was formed called Beauty in All Challenge, encouraging people to embrace their individual, personal beauty.
Okay. How was it, guys? Could you get some answers or do you need to listen again?
I got some of the answers, but I was a little confused in some. So
Yeah.
in my case, I think it would be
Yeah.
good to play it again.
Of course. I have to say that there is one that is very tricky. So pay attention. But yeah, I got you.
1.
Talking of politics, I was fed up with the lack of political education at my school, especially with the general election coming up. So I decided I would try to do something about it. I went to the head teacher and asked if I could stage a mock election in the school. I thought I would have trouble persuading him, but he was all for it. So I invited students to put themselves forward as candidates, then organised a speech day and a polling day. And guess what? The turnout was 85%. Students went home and researched the different political parties in our electoral system and what they stood for. I was delighted.
2.
Did you know that in the last general election, turnout among 18 to 24-year-olds was poor? Only 43%? Teenagers are accused of being politically apathetic, but that isn't altogether true. For instance, in Scotland, 16 and 17-year-olds were allowed to vote for the first time in the Scottish referendum. You know, when the Scots were voting whether to be independent from Britain. And what was interesting was that young people were inspired and galvanised to think about politics and the future of Scotland. And the voting turnout among the young was incredibly high, 80%. So it just goes to show that when teenagers are included in the political system, they can act responsibly and go to the polling station.
3. As a journalist, I can say that hashtag activism is here to stay. In the past few years, a solid Twitter presence has become essential for any good protest movement. For instance, a hashtag slogan links all posts together into a debating forum, so that people can easily find and join in the discussions. Incidentally, for those of us who work in the media, news is more and more often made on Twitter than through official channels. So I don't think it makes sense to distinguish between online and offline activism anymore. Social media is not a substitute for actual demonstrations, but a complement to them. Demonstrations are organized on Facebook. Then people go on protest marches with hashtag slogans on their banners. Therefore, other people can see them, go online and join the protest. Digital and traditional activism feed into one another. That's real life today.
4. A rather interesting reaction happened with teenagers a while ago in the States. Thousands of teens wanting to make a point against the perfect bodies found in magazines started posting photos and videos of themselves with acne, body fat, etc. They used the hashtag #Don'tJudgeChallenge. You know, the hashtag was used over 2 million times. However, some teenagers then started making themselves intentionally unattractive. For instance, they painted on spots, big eyebrows, big glasses, or missing teeth, and took photos, then slowly changed themselves to show that they were attractive after all. Then a backlash started with thousands of other teenagers criticising it on Twitter, saying that the videos didn't empower teenagers, but gave the message that people who naturally have bad skin, wear glasses, all that sort of thing, can never be attractive. So then a new hashtag was formed called Beauty in All Challenge, encouraging people to embrace their individual, personal beauty.
Okay, so let's start reviewing the answers. So for audio 1, which one do you guys think is the answer, if you remember?
I put letter C.
Can you explain why?
Well, the guy is explaining that he saw the lack of interest by his classmates about the election, so he decided to talk to the director and start promoting or informing people about it. So it makes sense that the guy took action to encourage people, younger people interest. That's why I choose it.
That's correct. Yeah, very, very good. Yeah, it's like this student is pretty much like encouraging other students to like find an interested in politics. That's pretty much what he was saying. He was saying that his school doesn't support that much that aspect. But yeah, very good. What about audio 2? It was a lady that she was talking about the position of young adults with politics.
I picked B.
Can you explain why?
Well, because at first she was saying that demographically it was said that young people are not interested in politics, and then she explained the situation in Scotland to get independence from Britain, and many young people participated here. So it actually goes according to the text, which says that the information they said at the beginning was not accurate.
Yeah, exactly. And it can be tricky because at the beginning she kind of talks about the lack of interest from young people, but then at the end she explains like how this information is not accurate and like the percentage of young people voting was very high. So yeah, very good. What about the third audio? It was a journalist. And she was saying the hashtag activism is the new thing nowadays.
Yeah, I
You
picked
remember?
D in that one.
You put D?
Yeah, I picked D because she was saying that yeah, social media is like part now of political campaigns. It's like a complement to if I remember to like she said that there's no difference between online and offline campaigns for politics. And if yeah, sometimes I have a bad memory when there are many of these, but she says that basically more people is using social media to talk about those topics.
To complement what my classmate said, it's she also said that we need to think of social media like not like a way to just post personal things, but as a way to actually protest and like generate a change.
What makes D and E different?
Um, Basically, the fact that the girl never said anything about political campaigns. She was more focused on the protesting and the activism rather than just focusing on politics. Well, that was why I picked the letter E because that one was tricky for me.
Yeah, it's very tricky. That was the tricky one that I was telling you. And it's actually letter E, the correct one. She was proving and talking that social media is very important for political campaigns. That's true. But she also, at the end, she was kind of saying it's kind of hard to find like a difference between like a social media campaign with a form of protest. So it's a very tricky one, but these are the type of questions or exercises that ask you for the specific detail that the speaker talks and not the general idea. And I think the general idea of this audio was D, but the specific detail was letter E. And what about the fourth one? Guys, remember?
I picked the A.
Can you explain why?
She was saying something like people use hashtags to on social media to talk about how their bodies were not in, I don't know, in a good shape or something like that. It was like people putting hashtags about, I don't know, I'm fat or something like that, and that the that turned something like they wanted to prove that now is no they are well people is not beautiful, but that turned in something like because they are proving that they are not perfect, that that's demonstrating that real people is beautiful in the way they are. Like I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but something like that's what I remember.
Yeah, and that's
Yes,
correct.
That's
It's
I
actually
also
letter A. Oh, sorry. Can
I
you talk?
also want to
Sorry.
say
Go
that
ahead.
no, I'm sorry I interrupted. My classmate Paula is right. In fact, that they were trying to demonstrate that people can be uh, like attractive just the way they are. So they started with acne, like showing pictures of them, showing their acne, like their imperfections. Sometimes they did it on purpose, but the purpose of this movement was what Paola said, that to show that we can be beautiful just the way we are, and it increased massive to even become a trend. I think some kind of trend. So it escalated and made its goal. I think.
No, it's actually correct. Letter A is correct. And all the information that you were saying, we was talking the audio. So yeah, you guys were correct. That's what she was talking about. And those were the examples that were given. So very good listening comprehension. Unfortunately, because of the time, we don't have time to do the wrap up activity. But do you guys have any question about the topic, about the vocabulary used? I will also send the attendance link and the satisfaction survey for this session. I really appreciate if you guys can complete that. Yeah, do you guys have any question?
I just wanted
Well,
to ask you if it's possible to listen to those audios, like if you can send me the link or something like that where I can see that activity again. If you can
Yeah,
share that with us.
I will try to find the link of these audios and then I will share it with you.
in my case, I really like the activity because it was like very IELTS or TOEFL like, so because it's important in order to make a proficiency test. But I
Yeah.
would like to ask you, what are some recommendations you can give us, or websites in which we could deepen more into this topic and get more practice?
Something that I would recommend you guys a lot is BBC. BBC has a lot of audios and very useful learning English videos. And sometimes I look at it because usually when you want to certify your English, most of the time they use British English, right? So you go to BBC Learning English on YouTube, and there are so many videos about different types of topics like social media and teenagers, like health, talking about social media. And it is so, so important to like first kind of like adjust our listening or ear to listen any type of accent, any type of vocabulary, because you know that like British English and American English can be very different. Um, so I definitely recommend you this channel. It's very, very useful. I think they have a website too, where they actually like I think they it depends on the video that you are watching. They will have like more activities in the description that you can complete based on that video that you just watched. So I highly recommend BBC Learning English. It's very, very helpful and useful. And they show like information and like activities that are helpful for real life situation, not like verb to be, past, family. No, but it's more like, okay, climate change or hashtag activism, like real issues that are happening right now and that can help us to like talk about it in real life situations or conversations.
That's a really good information. Thank you, teacher, and thank you, Andres, for making that question, for asking that question.
Of course. Yes, thank you, Andres, for doing that. I just sent it to the chat. And that's pretty much
Thank
it.
you,
I hope you
teacher.
guys have a great day. I hope you guys keep practicing, and I'll see you in another opportunity. Bye bye, guys.
Sure, teacher. Thank you very much. Teacher, is possible for you to send the presentation so like we could check the audio or like the other part of activity you were going to do to complement, if it's possible?
Um, I will ask because in some kind of way these presentations are like kind of like we cannot be sending it to the students, but I will ask and I will let you guys know. Okay?
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know that. No problem then. Thank you very much for your time.
Of course. Thank you for connecting to this class, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.